going on, YouTube? It's the dude in the Galactic Brew here. I know I said I was gonna do another video concerning the NFL playoffs. I previously did my video for the NFC with the Saints, or the Aints, I should say, and the 49ers, and of course the Packers and the Giants. So now I'm gonna finish it off with the AFC Divisional matchups. We got the Broncos and the Patriots tonight, and of course the Texans and the Ravens tomorrow. So the first match that I want to get into is New England versus Denver. I was watching NFL Network last night, and I found out a real interesting stat about these two teams whenever they get together. And surprisingly, Denver has a huge edge over this team whenever they meet. So this could, kind of be some sort of an omen for tonight. But then again, that's been in years past. I mean, this is 2012. This is, a whole new realm now of football compared to back in those days. But in all, it should be an action-packed, fun game to watch. Two quality quarterbacks going at it here. Of course, Tom Brady and the Patriots, and Tim Tebow and the spectacular Denver Broncos. Basically, I think this game is all going to come down to Tim Tebow. I mean, that was an impressive win last week over Pittsburgh, where he threw the game-winning touchdown strike to Denarius Thomas. But I think it's going to be even more pressure, and I think it's going to be even more of an expectation now that he's going to have to go on the road and actually win a playoff game, which can very well happen. But just know that before you start getting all excited about, Tim Tebow, all of y'all Broncos fans and just fans of Tim Tebow in general, like, before y'all start, getting all excited and licking your chops about, him upsetting the Patriots, we have to understand, this is the New England Patriots he's facing. I mean, this team has got a wealth of experience. They've won 3 Super Bowl championships. Their head coach is probably one of the best, if not the best coach since Vince Lombardi, in my opinion, and Bill Belichick. So, this is going to really be, if it happens, a coming out party for not only Tim Tebow and the Broncos themselves, but also for John Fox and that coaching staff. Now, if Tim Tebow can somehow pull this off, I think there's no doubt in anybody's mind that, Tim Tebow will no doubt be one of the greatest quarterbacks in the NFL. So, we'll see what happens. But just breaking down the game a little bit, I think that Denver's going to have to continue to use that strong running game that they've been using all season to, of course, set up Tim Tebow so he can fire away, to, his receivers, Decker and, Thomas and stuff. But as far as the Patriots are concerned, it's not really the offense that concerns me. It's really the defense. Like, can they slow down Willis McGahee? Can they get pressure on Tebow and not allow Tebow to start scrambling and extend plays? But, when you're dealing with a championship team like the New England Patriots, I mean, you can never count those guys out. I mean, sure, their defense has struggled this season. I mean, their defense has never, really been, completely strong, but they've been strong enough to win them championships and win games. So it's like they're not completely weak, but then again, at the same time, they're not completely strong either. So it's kind of like a polarizing effect, somewhat. But I will say this though, when it does come to the New England Patriots defense, they do show up in big games. I mean, for instance, last season, when they played the Colts, James Sanders had, the memorable interception that sealed the game for them um, at home. And when they went to Pittsburgh, the defense played outstanding there. So the defense does have a reputation for playing really, really well in big games, such as the playoffs. So you can never count, the Patriots out. But I don't know, man. We'll just have to see what happens. I mean, if the Patriots, defensive front can somehow find a way to stop the run and get pressure on Tim Tebow and not allow him, to to start scrambling and start, making plays himself, then I think that New England will win this game. But like I said, I think the real thing that's going to determine the outcome of this game is, can Tim Tebow win on the road? I think that's the question that everybody's going to have floating in their mind. Can he do it? Yeah. Is it possible? Yeah. But I don't know, man. I mean, I just got a gut feeling that New England's going to is going to give Tim Tebow a real rude awakening, and they're going to give them a real harsh learning experience here. And it's got nothing to do with the fact, that they're a young team or anything like that, because, I mean, look at the Green Bay Packers. I mean, I know we wear them out, but, I mean, look at the Green Bay Packers. That's a fairly young team there, and they won a Super Bowl. So, I mean, it's not like it can't be done, but I just think, the experience of Tom Brady, he's such a mastermind at quarterback. He's one of the best quarterbacks to ever play in the NFL. And then on top of that, he's at home. And I know that the past couple of years, recently, that the Patriots have dropped playoff games at home. Of course, we all remember the clobbering they suffered at the hands of the Jets last season. And then, of course, before that, with the Baltimore Ravens. But I just think that, they're refocused, and I think they're determined, and I think they know what's at stake here. And I think from the way that they've been playing this year, they look like, they can make a serious run deep in the playoffs. So as much as I would love to see an upset and see Tim Tebow pull it off, I'm going to go with the experience here and the home field advantage. And I'm going to take New England. I just think, that, I think that secondary is fairly young. And I'm not saying they won't put on a great game. I'm not saying they won't give the effort. They're going to give the effort. They're going to keep coming. They're not going to quit. They're a relentless secondary. And it's, also a relentless, defensive line too. Especially with Von Miller, coming off the edge. So yeah, I think they'll put up a great effort, but I just think Tom Brady, with all of those options that he has on offense, I think it's just going to be too much, for that secondary. Because, I mean, he's got Hernandez, Gronkowski, Deion Branch, I should say, and then you got Welker and, Chad Ochocinco, and, you got those two powerful, those two powerful running backs in Woodhead and Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis. So I think that's just going to be a little bit overwhelming for that defense altogether. And I think, with the running game, when they start getting that going, I think that's going to kind of wear them out a little bit. And, I just think it's just going to be too much. I mean, but then again, I could be wrong. But I'm just going to go with the experience here. And I'm going to pick the Patriots to beat the Broncos. But like I said, with Tim Tebow, anything can happen. So, we'll see. But I'm going with the Patriots. And then Of course, tomorrow at, I think it's at 8 o'clock when the Ravens and the Texans play. But yeah, at 8 o'clock tomorrow we have a game that I'm personally looking forward to as far as the AFC is concerned. Well, I'm actually looking forward to both of these games, but I'm real interested to see how this game is going to turn out with the Baltimore Ravens and the Houston Texans. Now, there's no question, the Houston Texans this season, they've looked better than they've ever been. I mean, they have been on fire. I mean, that defense is crushing people right now. I mean, they are literally just dominating opposing offenses, you know. And especially that Cincinnati game a couple of weeks ago, I mean, that was just fantastic. That was probably the best game I've ever seen the Houston Texans play. And, you know, I just think that, you know, that team has just become re-energized, and I believe they've gotten excited and they feel good about themselves. You know, they kind of made some rearrangements as far as the defense is concerned. They brought in Wade Phillips from Dallas, who has done wonders with that defense. And, you know, TJ Yates is starting to emerge. You know, Andre Johnson still looking like, you know, one of the best receivers in the league. You know, Yates and Foster, you know, he's wreaking havoc out there on the ground. So, you know, they've looked marvelous this season, you know. I mean, there's really nothing you can say. I mean, that team is red hot. They're probably the hottest team right now in the AFC. But at the same time, I could say that about the Baltimore Ravens. I mean, the Baltimore Ravens probably have got off to the best start since their Super Bowl run back in 2000. I mean, you know, they beat the Steelers twice. You know, they beat San Francisco. You know, they've added a couple of new weapons to their arsenal. You know, they drafted Torrey Smith, the explosive receiver out of Maryland. You know, Ray Rice is having a Pro Bowl year. I mean, it's just been looking nothing but good. I mean, you know, the arrow has been pointing up, as they like to say in the league. But yeah, the Baltimore Ravens have looked exceptionally well this year. And I mean, you know, you still got, you know, those monsters on the defensive side, and, you know, Ray Lewis and Terrell Suggs and Ed Reed, and, you know, they're just playing out of their mind right now. You know, and you know, this game here, this is really gonna, you know, tell the story about you know, just which team is gonna take that next step. Because we know the Baltimore Ravens have the experience and they have the talent to go to the Super Bowl. But like I said, you know, Houston just basically came out of nowhere and just basically, you know, bum rushed the scene in the AFC this year. So could they possibly go to the Super Bowl? Yeah. You know, I mean, they've been around for a while. You know, it's not like they're a young team. They've been around for a while. But I mean, you know, we'll have to wait and see. But just as far as the game itself is concerned, I don't think we're going to see a lot of passing in this game. I think this is going to be a defensive-minded game, as you should expect when Houston, with two good defenses like Houston and Baltimore. You know, it's going to be a defensive-minded game. So basically what that means, when you get a game like that, both teams are going to want to look to run the ball. And it's good. You know, I mean, you don't always have to have, you know, a pass-oriented type game. I mean, you know, a ground game is good too. You know, I enjoy watching teams run the ball as much as I do watching them pass. And they have two outstanding running backs to do it. I mean, they got Yates and Foster and they got Ray Rice. So, you know, we'll just see, you know, who has the better running game. And I'm sure Joe Flacco is, you know, going to want to look to get, you know, Torrey Smith and Bolden and all those guys involved along the way, as will TJ Yates. But I think this is all going to come down to defense and the ground game. For the most part, I think it's going to come down to the defense. I think defense is going to be the deciding factor here, and I just think the defense that can pressure the quarterback the most and stop the run the most and not give up big plays is going to be the team that's going to come out on top. And you know what? I think I think just because Baltimore, it just has that ruthless aggression. They just have this ruthless attitude on defense. I just, for some reason, I just can't see, Arian Foster and T.J. Yates and those guys getting around that defense for too long. Because, I mean, you got Ed Reed back there in the at center field. And, you got Ladarius Webb. And you got, Bernard Pollard. And then you got Ray Lewis and Terrell Suggs up front. That's a load there, man. And I don't know. But we'll see. But you know what? Again, much like the Broncos, Patriots, I'm going to go with the experience here. And I'm going to go with the Baltimore Ravens here at home. That place is going to be off the chain. I know people are going to be screaming their butts off in Baltimore. That's a rowdy crowd down there, by the way. So yeah, I just think with Baltimore's ruthless attitude on defense, and I think with Joe Flacco's persistence, I think they're going to pull this one out. So I'm going to pick the Baltimore Ravens. But like I said, Houston does have a chance. I think they have a chance of pulling it out, but that's just my opinion. So anyway, those are my predictions for the NFC and AFC divisional round games. The next video I'll do, of course, will be the AFC NFC championship, and then of course the Super Bowl. But until then, y'all enjoy the games, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.